So to wrap this all up, the final point I want to make is no matter what your faith is, what you're putting your faith in, no matter what your religion is, no matter what you believe about life, you can't prove it. You can't prove that it's right. You just put faith in it. That's the same for all of us. So I would ask, do you feel comfortable about what you're believing? You feel confident? Does it make you feel secure? Are you sure about what you're believing? I believe, this is my belief, again, I can't prove it, but I believe we have an almighty creator that created everything. That makes sense to me. You might say, well, you're simple-minded. Well, okay, because basically everything you look at had a creator. Someone made it. It was, that's just the way the world works. So it makes sense that all of the creation had a creator. That makes sense to my simple mind. And you might say, well, you're believing in fairy tales and you believe the Bible is filled with a bunch of fairy tales and fables and ridiculous, outrageous stories. And I'm like, well, okay, so maybe you believe that there was a ball of compressed dirt a long time ago, and then where was that ball of dirt? And was it like if it became the universe, then where was it before it created the universe? You see what I'm saying? And I realize that same question is asked of, okay, if God created the universe, then where did God come from and where was God? I get it. We all have those questions about whatever it is we believe. If we're honest with ourselves, we all have to ask that same question. But my point is, I think that the idea that there was a ball of dirt and gas compressed somewhere and then it blew up and then eventually, all those outrageous things happened that led to here we are today. I think that all of that, I won't go into the whole process of evolution, but, probably most of you know what they are. There's a whole lot of fairy tales, a whole lot of faith you have to put in that. You have to like it says, it's a theory. And there's a whole lot of gaps and things that don't make sense and things you have to think, well, all right, well, probably this and probably that. And maybe, here's what happened. And to me, that's more of a fairy tale than believing the Bible. And all of those different religions or faiths that I've pointed out, they're all riddled with questions and issues. You think mankind is going to solve every created utopia? To me, for me, I say, you've lost your mind. Men are, as the Bible teaches, sinful. I'm talking about humanity. Humans are innately of a sinful nature, selfish, prone to do wrong. Do we have goodness in us? Sure we do. Do some of us have a lot of goodness? Sure we do. But we all come from ancestors who failed in the beginning and passed on to us that sinful nature. That's just the reality that the Bible teaches. So every one of these faiths or religions or whatever you believe, they all have questions. They all have issues that can't be resolved. And so they all require us to put our faith in them. We have to believe. You have to have that religion, that way of living your life, that path you're going to follow, that you're being guided down that way. You have to believe that. You have to have faith. I will say this, sometimes my faith is severely tested in this world. Bad things happen to everybody. Good people, bad people, doesn't matter. Bad things happen. Life is challenging and difficult. And sometimes I call out to God and I say, why? And I say, please do this or do that, or please show me an answer. And there's not an answer. Or maybe it's not the way that I can see it, or it's not what I wanted to hear, or whatever. But I always think of doubting Thomas in the Bible, one of the apostles, Thomas. When Jesus had resurrected from the grave and he had appeared to many people, all of the apostles, the disciples, they had all seen him except for Thomas. And one day they were telling him, the other apostles were telling him, it's true, he's alive. He rose from the dead, just like he said he would. He actually did it. And Thomas was like, I don't believe that. And they were like, we saw him ourselves. We talked to him. We walked with him. It's the truth. Hundreds of people have seen him, at least hundreds. And Thomas said those famous words. He said, I'd have to see the nail prints in his hands. I'd have to put my hand there in the side where he was pierced with the spear. I'd have to see that for myself before I'm going to believe. And Jesus appeared. And Thomas was astonished. And Jesus said, look, there was the nail prints, the scars. He said, put your finger right there. Touch it. He said, look at my side where the spear pierced me. And Thomas said, he was overwhelmed. He said, oh, my Lord, my God, you're alive. It's true. And Jesus said some of them, what I think, the most special words for me. He said, Thomas, you have believed because you've seen, you've touched. You have it, me right here with you. You believe now. He said, but blessed are those who have not seen with their own eyes, but still believe. There it is. That's faith. When you can go through this sometimes horrible world and you can possess that kind of faith in God, and it can carry you through everything. That's glory unspeakable. That's miraculous. That's so powerful and wonderful. Little one and I thank you for watching Faith Part 3. Be sure to watch for Storytime with Ron every Wednesday and Song of the Week every Friday. I will be most grateful if you will subscribe to my YouTube channel and like and comment and follow me on all social media platforms. Thank you very much, and I love you all.